The watch that you see here was designed because a millionaire lover of polo wanted to play a sport without taking his watch off. So he asked his friend Jacques-David LeCoultre to design something rough enough to be able to use while playing polo, and that's how a legend was born, the Reverso. The original Reverso had only one face, and on the other side there was a steel caseback protecting the crystal from breaking. JLC is known for always going further, so they added another dial. So basically you're getting two watches for the price of one. Here we have the classic dials of the Reverso Duoface. The white dial with small seconds, super elegant and versatile. But when we turn it around, we have the black dial, no seconds but a 24-hour marker, and the hidden complication that we have on the top of the case. As you can see, on the bottom of the dial we have the text that reads travel time, which tells us that this watch has the ability to have two time zones. And that's why we have this hidden switch, which helps the hour hand to jump in 1 hour intervals to be able to have two different time zones. I guess it makes sense, 2 dials, 2 time zones. Sometimes we talk about perfect watches, but this watch, in fact, mathematically is actually perfect, because all of its measurements are based on the golden ratio, or the Fibonacci sequence, which is known this way because it appears all over nature and has perfect proportions. Without a doubt, this watch is super elegant, but at the same time timeless and classic. It was designed and patented in 1931, but the fact that 92 years after it is still an elegance icon talks a lot about it. The case is built with more than 50 pieces, and it is really complicated to build. The movement inside this watch is the JLC 854A/2. As we know, it is obviously an in-house movement. It is pretty complicated because, as I've mentioned before, we have 2 dials, the jumping hour hand, and a power reserve of 42 hours. The beauty of the JLC movement is that they are checked for 1,000 hours before leaving the factory. That's why we have the 1,000-hour control stamp. Basically, it works like an in-house certification, which is a lot more strict than the chronometer COSC certification. It is tested without a case, with a case, with temperature changes in different positions, making this movement super reliable. I think we could make the case justifying that this watch is the most versatile watch in the world. You have basically 2 watches for the price of one. For starters, you have the white dial, which clearly goes good with any strap color. But then you go to the black dial, which also goes well with any strap color. You basically have an infinite amount of options, literally between colors, materials, of straps, and 2 different colors of dials. You could have a different watch for every day of the year, no problem. This watch was designed as a sports watch, but I think that it has evolved into becoming an elegant dress watch, even though it still has the versatility to be an everyday watch. The construction of the Reverso is super tough, as it was designed to stand the hits in polo and to protect the crystal and the movement. Even the hinge, where the case rotates, feels super tough. When we talk about value for money, we enter a room that becomes intangible. Something that I didn't really like was that JLC from one day to another skyrocketed their prices in almost 30 to 40%. I get that this is a strategy to make the brand a little bit more exclusive, but I believe this was a really rough increment in prices. The retail price of this watch is around $13,300, which 2 weeks ago was $10,000. JLC has always been a really exclusive brand, but I think it is becoming really hard to justify these prices. The Reverso though is a watch that I actually believe it's worth it. We could justify that it's 2 watches for the price of one, or that each dial is worth $6,650. I believe that with the history, versatility, and all the engineering behind this watch, we could justify the price. But what do you think?